The outbound capital raising automation system that we have at Millionaire Sales Automation guarantees at least $1 million in capital in less than 90 days for free and helps you convert investors and secure capital consistently and predictably without you, so that you take down more deals and have money coming in without you having to wait a long time to sell or refinance. So if you're a multifamily real estate investor and you would like to have a predictable and consistent capital raising system that allows you to raise millions of dollars in capital so that you take down big commercial multifamily deals on a consistent basis and have money coming in without having to wait a long time to sell or refinance, then the next 15 minutes might be some of the most valuable 15 minutes that you'll ever invest in your life or in your capital raising journey. So make sure to stay all the way to the end if you would like to find out how you can get this outbound capital raising automation system in place and how we can do it for you for free and help you raise at least $1 million in the next 90 days. So let's get into this and let's get started. So if you're a multifamily real estate investor who and you've invested 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 into courses, coaching, mastermind groups, but you really haven't gotten any results, then I'm bringing you something that will give you results, and this video is for you. If raising capital from friends and family hasn't really worked because your friends and family don't want to invest, can't invest, or they just flat out reject you, if you've been wasting a lot of time, energy, money, going to networking events, meetups, networking, talking to a lot of people and making connections, but haven't raised any money or gotten any tangible results out of this, then you got to stop that madness and you got to set something in place that is consistent and predictable. And this video is for you. If you don't have a predictable and consistent capital raising system, process, or team, and you're basically running around like a chicken with your head cut off, always raising capital from anyone that might be interested, and basically anyone with a pulse, that's not the way to go. All right. That's not the way that you do business, and that's not the way that you raise capital. So this video is for you. And if you've maybe had success doing all of these things, right, like just trying to raise capital from anyone, making connections, going to meetups, friends and family, if you've had success raising capital for deals, but you still struggle on a month-to-month basis because you don't have money coming in and you must wait until you sell or refinance, then this video is for you. And my goal for this presentation over the next 15 minutes, a little bit more maybe, is two things. But before I talk about those two goals that I have for this presentation, let me just talk about this truth. The only way to raise millions of dollars in capital consistently and predictably is to treat raising capital as a business and have an outbound sales system and team. So let's go into this a little bit deeper. Let's dissect it. The only way to raise millions of dollars in capital consistently, what does consistently mean? Consistently is not an investor here and an investor there, right? Hoping, wishing, and praying that someone's going to bring you money. That's not consistent. Consistently means on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. And predictability means that it's based on numbers, on data, on logical data, not emotions. Predictability means that if you have 5 appointment setters who book 100 calls a month, you know that out of those 100, 80 of them will show up, 50 of them will be qualified, 40 of the qualified ones will show up, and at least 15 to 20 will close. That's predictability. Getting to the point that you know where your investors and the money that you need will come from, and not hoping, wishing, and praying that the money will come. That's what it means to treat raising capital like a business. And in order for you to do that, you need an outbound sales system and an outbound sales team. So my goal for this presentation is number one, to show you how the only way to raise millions of dollars in capital consistently and predictably so that you can take down more deals and have money coming in without having to wait a long time to sell or refinance is having an outbound sales system and team. And I'm also going to show you the best way to build an outbound sales system and team is to find a who to do it for you. Because let's be honest, either you spend time, energy, sacrifice, a lot of effort and suffering to build something like this, or you just find a who went through all of that to do it for you. And that's the best way. So what I want to do is if you're a multifamily real estate investor who wants to stop hoping, wishing, and praying that someone will bring you money for your deals, this video is for you. And I'm going to show you exactly how to stop doing this and how to get something consistent and predictable in place. If you want to stop relying on partners who don't come through with their commitment to bringing in capital and cause for you to scramble to raise capital at the last minute, then this is for you. If you want to have a system to raise capital consistently and predictably so that you can take down more deals and also have money coming in every single month without having to wait a long time to sell and refinance, like I've already mentioned, this video is for you. And you're going to find out exactly how to do this over the next couple of minutes. If you want to share less of the pie by getting a capital raising system in place in house instead of sharing a piece with other GPs, right? If you want to take more money home, then this is for you. And if you want to build a big real estate portfolio with lots of those, lots of assets under management, and build a generational legacy, wealth that will take care of the children of your children's children, this is for you. And I promise that the next 10 to 15 minutes are going to be some of the best 10 to 15 minutes that you'll invest for the rest of your capital raising journey. So if you like this, if any of what I've said so far has resonated with you, make sure to stay all the way to the end. Take it seriously, pay attention, and let's get going. I know that it's hard. I know that this is a lot to ask, especially right now in a TikTok world where people cannot focus on something for more than 5 minutes. But if this is important for you, make sure that you put some effort to focus, pay attention, and let's get going. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to share with you the outbound capital raising automation formula. But before I do, I got to give you some context because if not, you won't understand. So let's first talk about the three ways of acquiring investors. There's three ways of acquiring investors, and that's it. All right. Number one is outbound, going outbound towards your market to get investors. That means outreach, cold calls, cold emails, cold DMs, cold outreach. That's what outbound means, right? So that's the first way of acquiring investors. The second way of acquiring investors is inbound. This means having potential investors inbound, aka come to you by using advertising. So Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, etc. The third way of acquiring investors is content. Creating content that attracts your ideal investors' avatars and makes them come to you. These are the three ways of acquiring investors: outbound, inbound, content. That's it. There's no other ways. Um, and depending on your current situation, depending on where you are right now, that will determine which of these three ways you should be doing. Okay? So let's talk about the only way to acquire investors. Content, creating content takes a lot of time and effort. Time and effort. And if you don't have strong foundations and or proof of concept, or in other words, market message fit, creating content will cause for you to waste a lot of time, energy, and money. And you will create content with that has no specific type of investor in mind and will resonate with no one. Inbound, advertising takes a lot of money. And if you don't have strong foundations and or proof of concept and you don't have market message fit, investing money into Facebook ads, for example, or any other advertising platform will burn it. So if you go into Facebook ads, if you go into inbound from the get-go, you'll just burn your money because you don't have strong foundations, proof of concept, or market message fit. So we've crossed off content, we've crossed off inbound. So the only thing that you're left with is inbound. Content takes a lot of time and effort. Inbound takes a lot of money. Reaching out to your ideal investors, booking calls with them, qualifying and closing them takes work. This will allow you to gain proof of concept and market message fit. That way you can go into advertising, content creation to scale your investor acquisition efforts later on. But the first client acquisition strategy that you must do is outbound. Any of the other two won't work unless you have strong foundations, proof of concept, and market message fit. And if you're not there yet, then you should stick with outbound, right? So if you don't have something predictable and consistent, if you don't have strong foundations, then you must put in place an outbound capital raising system. So let me show you exactly how to do that. So let's talk about the outbound capital raising automation formula. There's three pillars, three foundational components for you to be able to successfully set up an outbound capital raising automation formula. That way you raise millions of dollars in capital consistently and predictably, and that it eventually happens without you. The first pillar is strong foundations, having strong business foundations. To treat capital raising like a business and do it consistently and predictably, you need the M5 business foundations, right? M5 stands for model, market, message, media, machine. The first three are enough for you to have strong foundations. So model. Model is composed of business identity, core focus, and offering. Okay, so business identity is your purpose, the cause that your company is going to push forward. your vision, your values, and your goals. So you want to have all of that clearly documented so that your team knows about it and they're all motivated and they're all pushing in the same direction. Core focus is about your niche, your target market, your area of expertise. So with area of expertise, what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that if you're doing multifamily, um, like D class, C class, B class, A class, you're investing all over the United States and you can basically take down any deal that comes across your table, that's not an area of expertise. You lie under the category of generalists. And generalists have a very hard time making money. So you need to get yourself an area of expertise as part of your model. You also need to have an offer, meaning you need to have an irresistible offer, investment offer. For that, you need an investment thesis, a roadmap, and all that good stuff. You need an offering, meaning 506B. 506B, you need to be clear as to what you will use depending on your needs. You need to be very clear on the type of investors that you're going to go after and the minimum amount that you allow those investors to come into your deals with. That's model. Once you do all of this, then the next step would be market, which is identifying who your ideal investor avatar is, clarifying the problems, fears, worries, goals, ambitions, desires, and all of that, so that you can go on to the next step, which is message, right? Which is how you will communicate to attract and convert them. And some of the things that make up your message, that will make up your message, is your primary promise, your unique mechanism, your investment thesis, investment roadmap, and all of this must be communicated in a way that is emotionally appealing and intellectually interesting. Once you have all of these three things, once you have strong business foundations, you can then get yourself an outbound investor called booking system slash team. So you must have a proven system to find your ideal investors, book calls with them, and you must have a team of appointment setters to execute on your behalf so that you can focus on what you do best. Imagine trying to reach out to dozens of or hundreds of ideal investors, right? Cold emailed, cold message, cold called them, and then trying to qualify them and then book. You see, so you must focus on what you do best, finding deals, putting deals together. Well, you have a team of appointment setters, finding your ideal investors, reaching out to them, and booking calls for you. So that's an outbound investor call booking system slash team. The next thing you need is an investor conversion system slash team. You must have a proven investor conversion process to qualify investors, make them an offer, and close them on investing, or in other words, giving you money. At first, sales reps can help you qualify calls so that you only take calls with investors who are ready to invest, they're hot, and they're ready for you to close them and give you money. Eventually, you can delegate the entire process to your outbound sales team. To appointment setters, appointment setters can find your ideal investors, reach out to them, book calls. A sales rep can qualify those calls, and then another sales rep can close those calls for you. So you can eventually, once you get market message fit, you can work yourself out of this entire process and raise millions of dollars in capital to take down more deals and have money coming in consistently without you. So this is the outbound capital raising automation formula. So think about which of these three things are you missing right now? Okay, well, you think about that. Let's go into the outbound capital raising automation model. So let's go into this a little bit deeper, and let me show you what you will end up with, what you can end up with once you have those three things that I just talked about, those three foundation pillars in place. So let's go into this. This is the outbound capital raising automation model. So let's zoom into it and let's go and let me explain. So the first thing is you must have business foundations, right? So the two things that you must need to have in place is an ideal investor avatar. You must be very clear as to who you're going after. If you don't know the who, you don't know where to look. If you don't know the who, you don't know what to say. If you don't know the who, you don't know how to convert them, right? So you must have an ideal investor avatar, and that way you'll have a solid marketing message that will be iterated and optimized through time so that you can come to a point where this happens consistently and predictably. So from there, you need so that's the first pillar. The second pillar comes into play here, an outbound investor call booking system. So you need appointment setters to find your ideal investors. You need to have strategies for that. Appointment setters to reach out to your ideal investors with proven scripts. You need appointment setters to follow up, appointment setters to schedule, reschedule, and confirm. So you have a team of appointment setters doing all of that for you, booking calls. These appointment setters will send your ideal investors to a call booking funnel, which is just a landing page with an outbound training presentation, where in an outbound training video where you talk about your investment thesis, your investment roadmap and how investing with you can help your ideal investors solve their problems and get to their desires. Kind of like here, kind of like the video that you're just watching here with me. And then that landing page will have a button that will take investors to apply and book a call. All of the information from those call bookings and those applications will go into a client CRM. So you will gather a lot of information. You will build a catalog of your ideal investors who booked a call with you, who've applied to work with you, and then you're going to be able to use that data to later on do inbound. So you can use that data as a seed audience and you can feed it into Facebook so that Facebook can put you in front of more of your ideal investors. But that comes later, right? But you'll basically build a CRM, and then once people apply and book, you'll have email. You need to have email and text reminders to confirm 1 day before, 1 hour before, and 10 minutes before. And then your appointment setters must be trained to send reminders and confirm as well. That way, people will actually show up. That way, your ideal investors show up to the qualifying call. So the first call is a qualifying call where you qualify them logistically, meaning you make sure that they have the criteria and requirements that you need. You want to qualify them on desire, meaning you want to make sure that these people want to invest and are able to invest, meaning that they have the money and the liquidity. If they're qualified, then you book them onto the conversion call. Obviously, you're not going to tell them, I'm going to book you on a conversion call. No, you just book them on a second call. And for that, you need a proven sales process and script to be able to close them. You need an irresistible offer and an investor agreement. Okay. So if the investor is closed, then you start the onboarding, right? The onboarding is basically helping the ideal investor verify that they're accredited. So you must have a process for that, and you must help them do that in the most effective and efficient way possible so that you can collect funds. If investors are not qualified, meaning they're not qualified yet, so maybe your minimum investment standard was 100,000, but they had 50, right? Or maybe they do have the funds, but it's gonna take 3 months for them to get it. If they're not qualified, then they'll be taken to a Facebook group where they will be nurtured with content. Appointment setters will keep in touch with them inside the Facebook group, so that way when they are qualified, when they are ready to invest, they get taken back into the sales process. Any investors who are not closed for whatever reason, whether that's fear, time, money, they need to talk to their spouse, they need to think about it, they'll be taken to a Facebook group where they'll have time to think about it. They'll be nurtured with information. They'll be given value. They'll be able to find out more information, learn more, and then when they are qualified, appointment setters will keep in touch with them to bring them back into the sales process. And this is what you could end up with if you get those three pillars that I walked you through in place. And then eventually all of this just works, right? It just works without you, and you have millions of dollars coming in. You're able to take down a lot of deals consistently and have money coming in without you having to worry about, the time that it'll take to sell or refinance. So this is the outbound capital raising automation model. So my question now to you is, would you like to get this implemented done for you? Because like I said earlier, right? Either you pay with time, effort, sacrifice, and suffering, or you find a who went through all of that and can get that implemented for you. So would you like to get all of this implemented? Would you like for us to build all of the outbound capital raising systems and processes, meaning we build your proven scripts to reach out, qualify, and close. We build the funnel. We build the outbound training presentation, and the video, right? You would shoot the video because you're the face of the brand, but we help you with that. We have templates for that. We have the application, the booking link, the CRM. We build all of that. We help you build the irresistible offer, the investor agreement, automate everything, and anything that you might need to have an outbound capital raising system and process. We build that for you. We also find, recruit, train, onboard appointment setters and sales reps for you. We guarantee appointment setters' performance and replace them if necessary. We train sales reps to qualify and eventually close investors on your behalf, right? So that everything is automated. And we track and build consistency and predictability for you. We also take care of the ongoing leadership, accountability training, and management of your outbound team, meaning we take care of the accountability calls, of the KPIs, of tracking and metrics, and we make everything predictable and consistent. We also do team building meetings to maintain high will and motivation across your outbound team to make sure that they're motivated. So We basically build the outbound capital raising systems and processes. We find, recruit, hire, onboard, and train appointment setters and sales reps to put inside these systems and processes. And we take care of the ongoing leadership and management of your outbound team. All done for you, all for free. So, like I said at the beginning of the presentation, this outbound capital raising automation system guarantees at least $1 million in capital in the next 90 days for free and will help you convert investors and secure capital consistently and predictably without you so that you have money coming in to take down more deals and without having to wait to sell or refinance. So if you would like to have this done for you, the next step is to click the button below or the link below to schedule a capital raising automation strategy call to go a lot more in depth into how everything would be implemented step by step. And you must answer all questions. So, what I mean by that is once you click on the button below, you go to a page that looks like this. You'll be able to pick a time zone. After you pick a time zone, you'll be able to pick a time for your call, and then you're going to have to fill out some questions. So obviously, we need for you to fill out your name, phone number, and email, and then there's going to be 5 questions that you need to fill out in order to be considered. So important notes. We get high volume of real estate investors who want to book and want to learn more about our system, how they can get this done for you, and all of that. So if you want to be considered, answer questions as best as you can. This lets us know that you're serious. The second thing is show up on Microsoft Teams. So whether or not we end up working together, if we end up working together, everything, all the processes, systems, communication will happen on Microsoft Teams. So if you don't have this call is going to happen on Microsoft Teams. So make sure you have Teams downloaded on your computer. Show up on time on your computer and any proper environment. Failure to follow these instructions will end up in a call cancellation and you might not be able to book again. So if you want to get this outbound capital raising automation system in place, which guarantees at least $1 million in capital raised in the next 90 days for free, you want to find out more details, you want to go more in depth into all of the details, click the button below, go book a call, make sure you fill out all the questions, show up on time on your computer in the proper environment, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.